Hello, everybody, and welcome to our third segment of Sports Central. Hank Long along with Neil Duncan, and Tiger Trot was good.
Well, I think one of the neat things, and maybe something that people don't understand, is how much the Tigers, Ron and Zach and everybody, they put on other events. They work with the city to put on other events there at the stadium, and then they work around, because you have spring training, and then you have the Lakeland Flying Tigers, and they work around all of that to put on some great community events. Of course, the Florida Ice Cream Festival was there, and then you look at an event like Tiger Trot. But just want to thank them. We also want to thank Bright House Networks, this segment sponsor, and also a big supporter of the event we're about to promote.
Yes, and we want to welcome our next guest, Mr. Wayne Raath, who is the general manager of the Lone Palms Golf Course. And Wayne, congratulations and welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Polk County Amateur, 37th annual.
Yes, sir.
Hasn't historically been at Lone Palm, but been there for a few years now. And talk about the transition and the event.
Okay. Well, it's been at least 20 years since Lone Palm hosted the Polk County Amateur. Mm-hmm. This is going to be our first year, and we're going to host it for the next 3 years. Bright House Networks and Dr. Adoka, who are two of the key components of that golf tournament, came and spoke to me, and we decided to come to Lone Palm, and we're very excited to have them.
Now, player or team entry deadline is July 26th. Sponsor donation deadline is June 21st. So we need to get the sponsors in first.
The sponsors, yes, sir. That's what the committee is working on. You know, I listen in on a lot of their committee meetings, and they're very dedicated to the charities that they support. I believe they support Girls Inc., the First Tee of Lakeland, as well as the Citrus Center Boys and Girls Club. And sponsors is what a big tournament like that's all about. Yeah. So I think right now what they're looking for is some more sponsors. They already have significant sponsorship already raised, but they're pretty close. And Bright House is a big component of that. And a number of other community organizations have really stepped up.
Well, and you talk about that. This event has donated $365,000 since 2005 to charity.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and it's one of the. They used to call it the Big Four in Polk County, the amateur tournaments, but this is definitely one of them. And talk about the event itself and the quality of the event. Not necessarily your course, because we know, and we'll talk about that.
We'll talk
but the quality of this event.
Yes, what's made this event really great, and I've participated a number of times. I was fortunate enough to win it twice back in the day when I was still playing a lot. It's very competitive. The best of all the players in Polk County get to play in this event. So for one, it's very competitive. Two, it's very well run. With the sponsorships that they've raised in the past, Bright House has really stepped up to the plate. So the players get a nice tea gift, they get a great lunch after play. And just overall, it's run like a real golf tournament. You know, it's not like a second-rate event.
Right.
It's done right.
It's done right, first-class event, and you're getting these top talented golfers. They're going to be in levels, I would believe.
They are. They flight the different levels of participants, and that's the one fallacy sometimes that people have. You know, I can't play in that. It's only the top 10 players in the county that's got a chance of winning that.
Right.
Well, that's kind of a fallacy, because what they do is they flight the whole event. So if we get 120 participants, which I believe we'll get this year, I mean, being at Lone Palm and everything about the event, there are people that are 15 handicaps that play in that event, or potentially even higher than that, but they go to a lower flight, and they still have the same opportunity to win gift certificates and prizes and a phenomenal trophy for each flight winner. So
now, let me ask this question. Say me, I'm in a lower flight.
Yes, sir.
No, the lowest flight.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I have a phenomenal weekend, and I shoot the best score.
Yes, sir.
Could I win the tournament then, or would I just win my flight?
Sir. You could still win.
Okay.
Maybe down like the 5th or 6th flight, down towards the lower handicaps. There's sometimes a bit of a distance advantage that they give some of those lower flights. You know, give them a higher a forward tee, so they may not be able to win the overall championship.
Okay.
But there's probably 75 to 80 people flighted that could walk away with the main trophy. Yes, sir. Most certainly.
You could have someone come out of the woodwork and just shoot their game and
Exactly
surprise
right.
everybody, which has to make it
Hold on,
exciting.
just, Hank, this is not going to happen for you. I just want you to know. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm skiing
not
in the
gonna win.
regionals. I'm skiing in the regionals. I'm missing it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
My big opportunity, and I'm in the regionals.
But there's some, to Hank's point, there's some great competition here in Polk County and some great golfers that compete in these majors that happen right here in Polk County.
Oh, I mean, Central Florida is like a hub for international golf. I mean, if you look at Andy Bean and what Lee Jensen did, he played in the Polk County Amateur back in the day. A lot of really great golfers have competed and won and played in this event.
And you mentioned Lee Jensen, and the U.S. Open is going on right now.
Isn't that,
and you see what a huge tournament it is. And to think that our local kid won that thing a couple of times is phenomenal.
It's unbelievable.
It is.
And to get back to your point about anybody can win, the U.S. Open, you can qualify for the U.S. Open if you have a great stretch of rounds. Anybody can try and qualify for the U.S. Open. And the same thing for the Polk County Amateur. If you get in there, you could win the thing. You just never know.
Well, and
yeah.
let's full disclosure, you were a national champion yourself.
Yeah, I mean, I played for Florida Southern back in the day, in the late 90s, and we had a lot of success. And one of the nice things was we did get an opportunity to play with Lee Jensen ever so often, and even past play with Florida Southern. Every now and then he'd call some of the guys up and we'd go play golf with him and learn from him and get that experience, and it's always been great.
What kind of things does, being at the caliber of golfer that you are, what kind of things does Lee share with you that, got him to such a high level?
Oh, I think one of the things is just kind of just being cool and just playing around a golf and just playing golf, just relax. I think some of the younger guys, and I was certainly that way when I was younger, they sometimes get so intense trying to make it happen. And I think once you get to that high level sport like Lee did, those guys just kind of let it happen. They work really hard, and then once they get out there, they just let it happen.
Have to have faith in your game and just play the game.
And just play the game. It's just a game at the end of the day.
Well, and the U.S. Open is certainly a tournament like that, where sometimes you got to take your par, sometimes you got to take your bogey and just move on to the next hole.
Yeah, and then just keep playing the game. Don't dwell on the past.
Well, going back to Lone Palm hosting this event.
Yes, sir.
What's new at Lone Palm? What are you guys doing out there? And how will the Polk County Amateur being at Lone Palm change the event because of the course and its layout?
It's been at a different course now, Lake Region, for a number of years, probably 7 or 8 years. And every now and then, people just need a little bit of a change. And I think that in and of itself, just the fact that there is a change is going to attract a number of people. Lone Palm, in the last couple of years, Steve Smyers is a good member of Lone Palm, and he's helped me tremendously in reshaping some of the holes as far as the way we mow the rough versus the fairways. We've redesigned, completely rebuilt all of our bunkers, and our greens are in great shape. So I think that's going all three of those factors can be a nice addition for the golfers.
You say your greens are in great shape. As you watch, these tournaments, and this is what's going to make the difference in this amateur, is the putting. And when you see, like at the U.S. Open, and this is true for any caliber of golf, though, but when you watch these guys making pars, they're dropping 30, 40-foot putts to make par, to read that. So to have these good greens at your course will really bring out the guys that really can putt well, because I think that's the difference right there, is coming in close and then making those putts.
Exactly right. And I think what people enjoy too when you're competing at a higher level is if you hit a really good putt and it's online, it's got the right speed, and it actually goes in, that's kind of a nice change from sometimes these guys play on a golf course or conditions are not exactly right, and they hit a perfect putt and it just hops all over the place and it doesn't go in.
Well, you think it's going to drop because the way you look
Exactly
at it, it just keeps going straight.
Yeah, and then, if conditions are favorable and weather permitting, I think that the greens will be really nice, and we'll have them as fast as we can, for that time of the year. The grass grows pretty heavily in August, so the rough will probably be nice and healthy.
Well, I was going to ask that, are you going to manicure the course any differently than you would for your members?
No, actually not. I mean, we typically have a high expectation from our membership, you know, so we have the greens as fast as conditions really allow or the health of the turf allows. But one thing we probably will do is we will roll and double cut the greens a little bit more so than we typically would do just on a normal weekend, because it's a little bit more labor intensive. And it will make the greens a little firmer and faster than they typically would be.
But you're not going to go with a 3.5 inch rough like they do at the U.S. Open.
No, our rough is plenty of thick out there, honestly. Bermuda rough is very thick and very hard to hit out of, and 1.5 inches at Lone Palm is going to be all that those guys are going to need. They're still going to be looking for it. And what we've done, like I said, Steve Smyers helped us reshape some of the way we mowed the fairways and the rough cut. So some of the fairways are a little bit narrower in spots than they were typically in the past, and especially from the back tees, it might be even a little bit more tricky in some spots. So the guys will have to navigate where they position their tee shots and not just take a driver and bomb it.
And just
what will the yardage be for this event?
We're looking at about 6,900 yards. But one of the other changes I didn't mention was when we redid our bunkers and things, we also lengthened some of the par 3 tees. So all the par 3s can play over 200 yards.
Wow. Well, that's easy.
So we will tweak those a little bit, but we'll land at 6,900 yards when it's all said and done.
You know, Wayne, as you said that this is the first time you've hosted this in a long time,
yes,
and that it's been at Lake Region for a number of years. Well, if you've played in this tournament for a number of years at Lake Region, you've kind of figured out Lake Region. I mean, you know the golf course, and you know how to play the golf course, and that's to your advantage. Now you have everybody coming to a course that they haven't got to play a lot, and they're going to have to learn as they play, which would even make it more exciting because there's not somebody that really has that great advantage of playing it a lot before they get there.
Exactly. And, you know, you have horses for courses. You know, it's just kind of the way it is. Tiger Woods plans his schedule around the courses that he enjoys. And many times rookies on the PGA Tour, for instance, they struggle that first year or two because a lot of the other competitors have been playing on those same courses year after year after year. These guys seeing it maybe for the first time in their life.
Yes.
You know, so I think in this case, you're absolutely right. I think that nobody's going to have a major advantage as far as having seen the course a lot.
Well, how can people, A, sign up to be a sponsor or part of the event, or B, players? How can they sign up to get involved?
Yes, sir. What you can do is you can go straight to Lone Palm's website, actually. We have a link on our website, lonepalmgc.com. There's a link for the Polk County Amateur under our events tab. And you could also find the event on Facebook. There's all kinds of information on there. Under Polk County Amateur, just look up Polk County Amateur and you'll find it there.
All right, well, fantastic.
Well, it should be a fun event for you. It's,
good luck, Hank. I know you're going to do well.
I says I can. I just happen to be out of town that weekend, and I'm gonna miss it.
Convenient, isn't it, Wayne, that he's going to be out of town?
Yeah, that's
Wayne,
great.
we thank you so much, and good luck having this event back at Lone Palm, and we know it's in good hands there at Lone Palm.
Well, thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
It's fun getting to chat golf with you. I just love talking golf, and to carry on and carry on. But, you know, we're going to leave golf now.